Welcome, everyone. We're really excited to have y'all join us tonight for this information session on the Public Art Pre-Qualified List. My name is Kimberly Mireles, and I'm the Public Art Program Manager. We also have members of the Public Art team on the call, and you'll be able to hear from each of them. We have Jordan Petrias, Lead Public Art Project Manager. We also have Bianca Alvarez, Alyssa Franklin, and Renee Talamantes, who are all Public Art Project Managers. Tonight, we're going to provide some background information on our department, what public art is for the City of San Antonio, what the pre-qualified list is, how you apply, and some tips and tricks. And then finally, what happens after the application if you're accepted. And finally, we'll have a question and answer session at the end where you can type in your questions in the chat. If you're so inclined, we will also be doing the same information session in person next week on Monday, November 13th at Mission Library at 6 p.m. So please feel free to come and say hi. And without further ado, we'll get started here. The Public Art Division is part of the Department of Arts and Culture. The City of San Antonio's Department of Arts and Culture strives to enrich the quality of life of San Antonio residents and visitors by creating art programming and helping people experience public art. We also manage 2 free art galleries, host film productions from around the world, and provide grants to individual arts and nonprofits organizations. Our services include providing or managing grants to individual artists and organizations, film permits and services, managing 2 free art galleries. We have a San Antonio Artist Registry, which you'll hear more about. We have a public art directory and map, and a local music spotlight program. So to learn more about some of these other aspects of our department, please visit SanAntonio.gov/arts or follow us at Get Creative SA. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Jordan.
Thank you, Kimberly. Hello, my name is Jordan Petrias, and I am the Lead Public Art Project Manager here with the Department of Arts and Culture. And to get us started, I just want to talk a little bit about the benefits of public art. And so, public art has a lot of benefits, and first and foremost, it really engages with residents and visitors. And we work very hard to ensure that the local community is heard throughout the public art process, which I will speak on a little bit more later. Additionally, it allows visitors to engage with the rich and vibrant arts community that San Antonio has to offer. While our pre-qualified list is open to international artists, we work to ensure that our projects are contributing to local economic growth. That includes working with local artists, fabricators, or installers through various different methods, including working to source local materials and leveraging local partnerships. But we also work with Visit San Antonio and within the city as a whole to share our collection and ensure that folks are coming to see what type of unique projects we have to offer. These days, more and more people seek out art and culture destinations, and having a robust public art collection helps bring tourism and boost our economy. Public art has the opportunity to beautify San Antonio and to enhance the local landscape. Hidden gems beloved by many can become highlighted to a larger audience with the inclusion of a public artwork. And finally, it really connects to the cultural identity, honoring and showcasing what San Antonio is to those who live here. Next slide, please. Some of the benefits that our public art program has is that it is community driven, and we work with the community and stakeholders throughout this process. Can you click this? Thank you. It is artist-centered. We work with artists who have worked in public art and those who are brand new, ensuring that there is a smooth and successful project. We ensure that there is a lasting legacy of the project. As it's completed, we host a dedication, and we seek out media to share the hard work that each artist has put in. We also have an extensive maintenance program that works to support the artworks and make sure that they are lasting long into the future. And we offer a lot of artist support throughout the process. We do have a long process, which I will get into, and we are here to support you throughout the way. Next slide, please. So all of the public art projects that are managed by the City of San Antonio's Department of Arts and Culture follow a comprehensive process. And this process includes 6 major checkpoints in which we check in with the community and stakeholders for updates and feedback from beginning to the end. And the milestones with an asterisk require approval from our Public Art Committee and Arts Commissions, our governing bodies. And on average, a project can be completed in about 24 months. So I want to just give a few case study examples that we have of projects now to give you an idea of some of the ways that we work with people. So as I mentioned, we've worked with artists who have not created a public project before, a public art project before, and we're really here to help and support. And so here I have a case study from Caldrick Dow, and it's called Spheres of Reflection. And here we have the design phase, which lasted from March 2021 to November 2021. And Caldrick is a studio artist that has a very comprehensive studio record, but have not created a public art project with us before. And so you can see the preliminary sketch that Caldrick came up with all the way to final design. And next slide, please. Here you can see the development of that project. So you can see Caldrick working on the sketch in one of the images. You can also see him at the fabrication studio, providing insight and oversight over the fabrication, which was a really unique learning opportunity for him of being able to see one of his pieces go from 2D to 3D and making sure that there was quality control and that his vision was becoming a reality. And then you can see the installation oversight and finally that completed project. Next slide, please. Here we have Inature and Lightbox. Inature created by Ashley Morales and Lightbox by Kate Bradshaw. These are San Antonio artists, as was Caldrick. And these pieces are very unique because they are functional. And so the artist created the designs that would be part of these wildlife blinds. And so you can see folks interacting with the pieces and looking out and hoping to get a glimpse of the wildlife. But this is a unique project because the 2 artists were paired as a team, but they did not apply for as a team. And this is a question that we ask on the application is if you would be interested in working with another artist that we would help put you together within the project. And next slide, please. Here we have by Kim Bishop and Luis Valderas, Poet's Point. And this is a project that utilized poetry and a number of different artists from the council district in which it was located. And so here you can see that in this application, we're really looking for visual artists, but if you are interested in bringing other art forms into your project, there is a way that we can do that. And so this was a very collaborative opportunity here. Next slide, please. So we just got our 2022 to 2027 bond projects approved. And so we have 36 upcoming projects in the next 5 years. And so we're currently in the scoping phase and project initiations, and we're going to have artist selections next upcoming. So this is a really great time for you to be applying to be part of the pre-qualified list because we have a number of opportunities coming up. And so with that, I am going to hand it off to Bianca.
Thank you, Jordan, for passing the baton. My name is Bianca Alvarez, Public Art Project Manager with the Public Art Team, Department of Arts and Culture, and I'm here to share more on the Pre-Qualified Public Art List as the rest of the team is. So just broadly, all City of San Antonio public art projects are created by a team of visual artists, design professionals, fabricators, installation experts, marketing specialists, you name it. To be considered for a project, you must first apply and be approved to be on the Pre-Qualified Public Art List, which is a list of vendors broken into 2 categories, which is visual artists and support service providers. The department opens applications for the Pre-Qualified Public Art List each year, and this is that time of the year. So practicing visual artists can apply as an individual or as part of an artist group. And arts agencies and nonprofit organizations who focus on visual art may also apply. It's important to note, though, that due to funding guidelines that support our public art projects and the temporal nature of performance art, performing artists should not apply unless they also create some form of visual art. So once you've been approved for the list, you are eligible for contracted opportunities with the Department of Arts and Culture for up to 3 years. After those 3 years, you would need to reapply to be considered for the list again. And we will notify you. We'll send out a reminder email ahead of time. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us if it's time to apply, if you've missed that email, or maybe some of your contact information has changed. So although being on the list does not guarantee contract work, our team is committed to distributing opportunities equitably. That is definitely a priority. So here we have an example of a recently completed project at the San Antonio International Airport. We contracted with the artist Sandra Gonzalez to design and paint 2 murals that are now located near the airport's baggage claim in Terminal A. Sandra worked with Andre Renteria as a support service provider to help build and install the panels that the mural was attached to. So just to give another example of how we work with multiple people to make projects happen. Next slide, thank you. And so we have made some changes, some updates to the pre-qualified list application process. And I know my colleagues will share more on that in the coming slides, but I'll take a moment to highlight the 2 biggest changes. The first is that applications will be reviewed and evaluated by an external panel of art experts. They will base scores on artistic merit and experience, among other criteria, and the panel's recommendations will then be presented for approval by our governing bodies, the Public Art Committee, San Antonio Arts Commission, and finally by City Council. So we'll give a timeline of that shortly as well. The second change is that this year we will have 2 residence-based applications. So applicants will be prompted to complete those applications based on where they live and work in either the San Antonio area or non-San Antonio area. So the San Antonio area is defined as residents living and working in Bexar County and its surrounding counties of Kendall, Comal, Guadalupe, Wilson, Atascosa, Medina, and Bandera. And non-San Antonio area includes residents living and working outside of Bexar County and the surrounding counties I just mentioned. So if you're trying to commit these areas to memory, don't worry, we have all of this information listed on our website. Slide. All right, so here is a bit of what we're looking for from applicants. For visual artists, as mentioned, due to our funding guidelines, we highly recommend artists that work in the plastic arts to apply. That includes painters, sculptors, ceramicists, photographers, graphic designers, just to name a few. You don't have to have public art experience, but you should have an established studio practice and demonstrate mastery of your medium in work samples that are provided. Also, if you are a San Antonio area visual artist applicant, you will need to create, if you haven't already, a San Antonio Artist Registry profile. More on that on the slides to come. You will need the link for your profile for your application. So aside from that, it's free, it's on our website, and a great way to promote your work. For San Antonio and non-San Antonio applicants, we're looking for professional work samples that showcase your skills. So samples that highlight your sense of collaboration is even better. The public art process for our projects requires a lot of teamwork and engagement with other city departments, stakeholders, business owners, neighborhood associations, and the community at large. So please show us your potential or experience with working with others. For support service providers, that can include, but it's not limited to, engineers, fabricators, installers, conservators, welders, electricians, even signage or placard specialists. Any skills that you have that can bring an artist's vision to fruition is needed. So please submit your professional work samples that showcase your proficiency and experience in your field that can translate to a component of public art that includes maintenance and preservation as well. So it may not always be to create a new work of art, but maybe somewhere down the road after a public art project has been installed, we may need to maybe restore some aspects, some mural touch-ups. So any of those skills is appreciated. So as with visual artist applicants, any samples that emphasize a sense of collaboration is a plus. Slide. Thank you. So as a friendly reminder, and I know I will not be the last to say today, San Antonio area visual artists applying for the pre-qualified public art list are required to create a San Antonio Artist Registry profile, which is offered through the Department of Arts and Culture's website. So this is how panelists will view applicant work samples and resumes. The registry is loaded with dynamic functional features that enable artists to share not only their profile, but their background, contact information. You can link it to your own, professional website or social media if you have those. And you can also upload audio and visual files to these profiles and include an artist statement. Share your vision, share your creativity. More broadly, this online professional directory is open to all San Antonio area artists, free of charge, with the goal of showcasing the incredibly talented artists of San Antonio and the work they create. This platform enables artists to be found for commissioned work, projects, job opportunities, educational opportunities, and other forms of collaboration. So it is, it's shared with all. Anybody can access this registry. So lastly, do not procrastinate. Can't emphasize that enough when it comes to creating your profile. It can take about 3 business days for your profile to go live. So we would hate to see any application be ineligible because the link wasn't available. So please, set an alert, put it on your calendar well before the deadline for the applications close. And now I'll pass it over to my colleagues. Is that Alyssa?
Yes, thank you, Bianca. Alyssa Franklin here, another public art project manager with the Department of Arts and Culture. There's a few of us that you'll meet tonight. For my section of the presentation, I'm going to focus on how to complete your application. I'll give some helpful tips and reminders throughout the next few slides. To start us off, applications opened on October 30th and they will close on December 1st at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. As Bianca mentioned, there are 2 applications this year, one for San Antonio area applicants and one for non-San Antonio area applicants. And again, just to reiterate, as Bianca said, if you're a San Antonio area applicant, the first step is to create your artist registry profile. The second step, which applies to everyone, is to complete your application in GoSmart, choosing the one that's correct for you based on your location. And we'll get a little bit more into that on the next slide. And before I get too far into the timeline, I wanted to give everybody a friendly reminder. It's also posted on our website and it will be part of the application itself. But as a policy reminder to all applicants, do not contact City of San Antonio City Council members, City of San Antonio employees, evaluation panelists, San Antonio Arts Commissioners, and Public Art Committee members about your application. If you have questions, please email us at publicart@SanAntonio.gov. And now to get into the timeline, tonight is the first of 2 informational workshops being held this month in November of 2023. On Monday, November 13th, as my colleagues previously mentioned, we'll have our second workshop, which will be in person at Mission Library at 6 p.m. Applications will close at 4:30 p.m. on December 1st. They'll be evaluated and scored during the month of December. In February of 2024, we will present the approved list of applicants to our Public Art Committee and the San Antonio Arts Commission for approvals. In March, we'll present for City Council approval, and then later that month, applicants will be notified. Next slide, please. And so I know Bianca has given you all a really great overview of the Artist Registry and many of its benefits. I will reiterate to please submit your profile no later than November 28th, which would give you a 3-day processing time, as Bianca mentioned, being important to make sure that you would have a link if you are a San Antonio applicant, which is a required part of your application. And just a high-level reminder of things that you should be including in your profile: your name, your contact information, including your website, your social media, a biography, an artist statement, work samples, a CV or resume, and your category of work. Show us what areas you have experience in. And if you already have an existing Artist Registry profile, this is a great opportunity to make sure you have all those required components that I listed above, because you might have less, less details from previous years than we're requiring at this time, or that we would like to see. And it's also a reminder to update your profile with any new achievements, work samples, experience, an updated resume or cover letter, any of those items that we can just really showcase all the great work you've been doing in the last few years. And then next slide, thank you. So getting into GoSmart, this is our grant and contract application management system. If you're a new user, the way that you begin is you click the Create New Account button in the upper right-hand corner. You can see that in the teal and the screenshot on this slide. And that's how you're going to establish your profile. Then you'll be able to log in. Once you're logged in, you'll click on the tab at the top titled Grant Applications and Forms. You're going to search for the application you wish to apply for. This year we have the 2 applications like I mentioned, so you'll select whether you're San Antonio area or non-San Antonio area, and then we begin the application itself. It's an important reminder that don't assume that creating a profile on GoSmart, creating a user account in the GoSmart system, is the same as submitting your application. You will still need to fill out and submit your application after you created your GoSmart profile if you're a new user. Consider all the categories you may be eligible for. You can apply as both an artist and a support service provider in one application. Make sure you use the Save button regularly throughout your application so you don't risk losing progress, and you don't forget to click the actual Submit button before the application closes, again on December 1st at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Check your email after you've submitted your application for a confirmation message that we've received it. You're permitted to contact our staff about technical problems with the online application itself. But just as a reminder, don't contact public art staff to actually review your application or portfolio prior to submission. We can only provide technical assistance with the online application. We can't review application materials. Next slide, please. All applications are evaluated by panelists from a score of 0 to 100. Up to 60 points are awarded for merit, up to 30 for experience and qualifications, and up to 10 for collaboration. Next slide, please. Staff reviews and distributes the extra 15 points after panelists have scored applications. These are called equity impact points. So you get your score of 0 to 100, and then you have the potential to earn an additional 15 points on top of that, with a total potential score of up to 115 points. 10 equity impact points will be awarded if you select any of the following in your application. You can only earn the 10 points once, so whether you select one or you were selecting all of them, you would be eligible for up to 10 points. And these categories include racial and ethnic communities of color, women, i.e. applicants who identify as women, LGBTQIA, applicants who identify as LGBTQIA+, veterans or active duty, living with a disability or other chronic medical condition. And then 5 equity impact points after those first 10 will be awarded if you are local to the San Antonio area. So you get the 10 possibly, and then the 5 for a total of 15 extra points on top of that original 100. Next slide, please. And then just to make you all aware of resources that we have to help support you in the application process, make sure you visit our pre-qualified list page, which I will paste that link in the chat momentarily. But if you go to our website, SanAntonio.gov, click on public art, then there is a tab, as you can see in the screenshot on the slide, that reads 2023 pre-qualified list, and it has a whole series of tabs with additional supplemental information that you can use to answer many questions. Some of those include application instructions and pointers, help with GoSmart, and a new applicant tutorial navigating the GoSmart system, FAQs, frequently asked questions, and many more things. And then that's all for me, so I'll hand it over to my next colleague. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Alyssa. Hello, my name is Renee Talamantes, Public Art Project Manager. So I'm going to go into how we use the pre-qualified list and what contracting could look like, what's required for that, as well as how we use the list to select the artists for the city's public art projects. To be considered for future public art projects, you first need to apply and be approved for the pre-qualified public art list, whether that's as an artist or support services. This allows us to be able to work with you on future capital projects. The pre-qualified list is approved by City Council, and that gives us authorization to contract with artists and support services from the list. Well, it doesn't guarantee a contract. It is that first step if you want to work on any city public art project. As you've heard from some of the examples today, our projects vary in all types of artwork and teams that are put together to accomplish the goal. So for artists, we really are open to all experience levels. We'll work with the artists to build the team of support services that best fits that project. So that could look like a contract with an artist that is for design only, and we'll then look at some support services and bring in engineers or architects, possibly design support, graphic designers, and then we'll then pass that design on to a contractor to execute in fabrication and installation. Depending on the project and the experience level or the type of artist, the contract could also be for design and fabrication, or even the whole enchilada, design, fabrication, installation. We'll still utilize engineers and graphic designers, general contractors, and other support services. The person managing those contracts and subcontractors would look a little different depending on the type of contract that's determined with the artist. So once an artist is selected for a project, and I'll go into that next, we can sit down and work with the artist on the type of contracts that are best for the artist and for the project. So next slide, thank you. So here you can see those beginning steps that have to happen before we get to contracting. Every project starts with scoping to determine the best location for artwork and type of artwork that fits the project, and what the community is really wanting for the space. We'll gather input from the community and stakeholders through a series of meetings and surveys, and that data that we collect helps us narrow down what they're looking for in regards to theme and sometimes even style for the artwork. From there, we'll look at the pre-qualified list and recommend a short list of artists. In selecting artists from the pre-qualified list, we'll look at artists that are a right fit for the project and whose work matches the community engagement. In the past, we've not shared if people were shortlisted, but you will see a new question on the application this year that asks if you would like to be notified if you've been selected to be part of an artist shortlist. We want to ask this question so artists have an opportunity to update their website or your artist registry with any new information or work examples. Many other cities do this to share transparency in the process, so we want to see if that's something that folks are interested in as well. So once we have the artist shortlist, we'll review internally and then put together an artist selection panel that's made up of community members and stakeholders. The artist selection panel will review all the artists on the shortlist and recommend a first choice and an alternate for approval. Our Public Art Committee and the San Antonio Arts Commission would then vote to approve that recommended artist. And once an artist has been approved, we'll then reach out to them and see if they're interested in the project and if it fits their schedule. That's when we would then start that discussion to determine what kind of contract is the best fit and the support services we'll want to include on the project. Next slide. So with any contract, the city will require additional insurance. You're not required to have insurance to be on the pre-qualified list. But once you've been selected for a project, we will work with our risk department during contracting to determine what insurance may be required. So to determine the insurance requirements, the city's risk department will look specifically at the scope of work on the contract. So what kind of work is being performed and if it's on city property. It will vary depending on if it's design only work or if it includes fabrication and installation. And this goes for professional services as well. Next slide. Here you can see a chart of coverage that is typically what we'll see requested from our risk department. A design-only contract will require less insurance, but we'll work with you so you have the right amount of insurance required for the project and the contract that you have. And you'll need to have this in place before we can fully execute your contract. So we tell you that now so you can expect some upfront expenses at the start of a project. So again, this is only required once you've been selected for a project. You do not need any additional insurance to be on the pre-qualified list. And next slide, please. So we're into something a little more fun than insurance. Here are some photos from recent projects. Just in the last month, we celebrated the completion of 3 projects. And these are just a few examples of the wonderful opportunities that there are in creating public art for the city and for our communities. This process can really be so fun and rewarding, and we want you to join us in ensuring that San Antonio's arts and culture scene continues to flourish, and we continue to provide amazing experiences with art for San Antonio residents and visitors. So I encourage you to talk to us, ask questions, talk to other artists who have completed projects for the city. We're here to support you through to the end, all the way to the ribbon cutting. So we look forward to receiving your application.
Right. So in this Webex platform, there is a chat button. So if you have any questions, please feel free to type them in the chat box right now. Otherwise, you can email us at publicart@SanAntonio.gov. You can call us at 210-206-2787, or you can visit us on our Prequalified Public Art List webpage, which is the at getcreativesanantonio.com, and it's public art at the 2023 pre-qualified list. But we will give it just a minute to see if there's any questions that pop up. And as Renee mentioned, we thank you so much for being here with us today, and we look forward to seeing those applications come in. Thank you. We'll give it about a minute or so to see if there's any questions that come in, and then we will end this webinar. Thank you very much for joining us. All right. Well, with that, oh, no, I see one. For non-San Antonio residents, is there a list of counties that can apply? So the application is open to everyone. We just ask that if you are a San Antonio resident, so one of those living in Bexar County or the surrounding counties, that you apply to the San Antonio application. And if you are not in one of those counties, that you apply to the non-San Antonio, but it is open to everyone. It's open internationally, so there's no restrictions on that. All right. Well, thank you. I'm not seeing any other questions come in, so if there are more, then please feel free to email or call, and I hope that you have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.